Alright, what's going on, guys? It's GSR here. I wanted to talk to you guys today about what I would like to see in the next NRS game. We don't know if it's going to be Mortal Kombat. We don't know if it's going to be Injustice. We don't know if it's going to be Marvel versus DC or whatever the case may be, which would be very interesting to actually see how they would come up with something like that. It would bring a new flavor, I guess, um, to their game in a sense, playing with your favorite heroes from Marvel and stuff like that. But anyway, let's get back to the point. I just want to talk about gameplay wise. The problem that I have with this game, just in general, right, is that the developers lied to their audience. They stated that mix-ups are not going to determine a fight, yet they kept releasing DLC characters, and then characters that are in the base roster are walking mix-ups, such as Sonya Blade, Scorpion, Aaron Black. Uh, uh, One of the most notorious walking mix-up characters in the game is Sub-Zero. So that leaves me really perplexed because you contradicted what you said, and I don't feel too optimistic about this particular situation just in general. You lied to your audience, making them believe that this game is going to be based around playing footsies. It's going to be based around spacing. You're going to be playing the neutral, yet you have characters like Kano that are completely breaking neutral. So that is a serious dilemma in itself. You cannot tell your audience, hey, this is what the game's going to be, and then when you play this game, for some weird reason, like characters are breaking neutral, characters are heavily influenced by mix-ups, and that's what's determining a fight for the most part. It bothers me to know that they had a lot of potential for this game, and then they made it to where this game is just very annoying to play. It doesn't feel like you lost, it just feels like you're being cheated. It doesn't make you want to go back into training mode and make you feel like, okay, yeah, this guy outplayed me. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go back in training mode and I'm going to learn. That's not necessarily what this game is. You put that player through that bullshit when you win a round or you win the match just in general, and that player is putting you through that bullshit. And that's the reason why I agree with Mike Hollow when he said, like, can you really take losing seriously in this game? Because in reality, you really can't. The game is very beautiful with graphics. It's by far one of the most beautiful games out there, fighting games at least out there that I've ever seen, followed up by like Street Fighter and stuff. I'm pretty sure there's other fighting games that look really beautiful, but they really paid close attention to detail and stuff like that. It just sucks that when you customize your skins, there are skins that are very repetitive, like it's the same skin basically, but just a different color. It doesn't allow you to customize your character like you could in Injustice 2. And in Injustice 2, the customization list was actually amazing. You can make your character look badass. And I don't know why they didn't follow that formula. When it comes to like custom variations and stuff like that, I made it very clear like a year ago that I was very hesitant on it because you will make characters broken in this game, or you will make them wildly overpowered, and that's exactly what the fuck happened. You made characters more dumb in this game, and then certain characters only have one solid variation that they can actually use. A prime example is Rambo. You can go for his leopard crawl, which complements his 50-50s, and then his foo bar, which is a really good combo ender for him. Just in general, and then off of a down one, he could potentially get like a mix-up or whatever the case may be on the opponent, and I gave him the extended combo strings. That's his ideal variation, and then other characters they have like two, and if you're lucky, possibly three. Then the customization list is very confusing because there are certain moves. Like Rambo's snare trap, I think it is, where like he can basically hang you upside down into the air. It's basically a launcher, right? And it costs 2 loadout points, but certain normals that he uses when he successfully physically hits you, it doesn't necessarily link in at all, right? He can't even extend his combos off of that. So why is it like 2 bars? You understand what I'm saying? I would understand if he could do all that shit, then it would make sense, right? But then there are moves in this game that only cost 1 loadout or 1 slot, right? and the move is wildly like dumb as shit. A prime example was like Gear's little quicksand move or whatever, right? He gets like really solid damage. It's a projectile. Not only is it a projectile, but he's conditioning you to block low in the neutral, which destroys the neutral in a sense because you can't even play neutral when you have characters that can do shit like that to you, right? And of course you can punish it, especially if you flawless block it, but then it acts as a teleport for him as well. Now another thing as well is that he gets an easy crush and blow requirement if he whiffs his move twice in a row. So this makes this move very intimidating because either one, you either block the quicksand, or number two, you allow him to whiff because you were under the impression while you two were, still in the neutral state that he was going to commit into the quicksand move and try to hit you. So he can create a mind game off of that because in reality you don't want this nigga charging that shit up. You understand what I'm saying? So I personally don't think we need another Mortal Kombat game. And if we do get another Mortal Kombat game, I would love to see Onaga as the boss character. I think the reason why we don't need another Mortal Kombat game is because they need to learn from the mistakes with this game, from the crushing blow distribution, the fatal blow situation, the meter, the breakaway situation, the continuous zoning in this game, which is very annoying. There's a lot of players, including high-level players, that express their huge displeasement with this annoying zoning game. Zoning was not this heavy back in the good old days when they were Midway, and then all of a sudden they made it to where like zoning is incredibly annoying. It's already bad enough that projectiles don't clash, but then it can become very biased, mainly because if you're super low on health and the opponent's not, they can play a really annoying keep away game and force you to come to them, and the match is already basically determined right then and there, especially if the player's not dumb and they know what they're doing. So I don't respect zoning in NRS fighting games at all. I don't care if you're talking about, oh, zoning takes skill. That's cap. That's 100% cap. Yeah, I just don't think we need another Mortal Kombat game because they've hinted at so many characters in Mortal Kombat 11 that should have been playable and they're not playable. They've even stated in the story mode that, certain characters were going to be playable in the story mode, or at least characters that are in the story mode are going to be playable. And then you see Cyrax and Sector thinking these niggas is going to be DLC characters or they're going to be in the base roster, and then all of a sudden like you realize that these characters are never going to be playable at all except for being an assist character, and it's just very insulting to watch. They're completely redesigned, reskinned, and then you're killing off characters that people want, and then you're hinting at 3D era characters. Even in MKX, I believe it is, Serena was in that game and she wasn't even a playable character, yet you're introducing new combat kids that are not necessarily necessary in Mortal Kombat just in general, because the list of the 3D era characters is very large. You can bring back Chameleon, you can bring back Draman, you can bring back Rico or Raiko, however you say that name. You can bring back so many different characters and create a very interesting story. So that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below.
99. Round 1. Fight.
Deadly uppercut, take two.
Action! Cut!
Who hired this guy? What the fuck? Deadly uppercut, take 19.
Fatality. Johnny Cage wins. 99. Round 1. Fight.
Really?
Round 2. Fight! Final round. Fight! Finish him!
Cut! Reset!
Deadly uppercut, take two.
Action! Cut!
Who hired this guy? What the fuck? Deadly uppercut, take 19.
Fatality. Johnny Cage wins.
99.
Round 1. Fight.
I only need one.
Round 2. Fight.
Reset.
Deadly uppercut, take two.
Action. Cut.
Who hired this guy? What the fuck? Deadly uppercut, take 19.
Fatality. Johnny Cage wins. Round one, fight.
Not my contract.
Round two, fight. Finish him.
Cut. Reset.
Deadly uppercut, take two.
Action. Cut.
Who hired this guy? What the fuck? Deadly uppercut, take 19.
Fatality. Johnny Cage wins.